Well, it is another warm day, but a few showers could interrupt your day. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Levine, in for Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. We appreciate you joining us here on WRAL News. We do have meteorologist Kat Campbell right now tracking when we could see showers today and a more significant round of rain on the way there, Kat.
And that's going to get here, unfortunately, just in time for Easter Sunday. Today, it's kind of a warm-up, just a couple of spotty showers out there. No big deal, but it may create kind of pollen paste on your car and different surfaces. The main cold front still well to our west, but we've got a warm flow with a lot of moisture out of the southeast today, and that's generated a couple of showers at times. Now, there is a downpour that we're watching in Harnett County, but for the most part, these are very brief, very spotty showers, and they're on the lighter side. Sunday, it is widespread rain that everybody is likely to see, and this should last for a couple of hours during the day Sunday as the rain moves from west to east. And even if you're traveling from the mountains to the coast, you will still be impacted by this rain on Easter Sunday. There is the threat for an isolated severe storm east of Raleigh Sunday. That would be along and east of I-95. I do think the bigger threat is going to stay closer to the North Carolina coast. Just keep that in mind if you are traveling. The main threats would be lightning, as well as the threat for some damaging wind gusts. Hour by hour, let's take a look at your Easter Sunday forecast. A warm morning, 66 degrees at 8 a.m., just a 20% chance for rain. By lunchtime, that chance for rain starts to climb, 70 degrees, and then as we get into the afternoon, we go up to an 80% chance of rain, maybe a few thunderstorms embedded in the showers during the afternoon. I'll have a brand new look at the new high-resolution Futurecast run to show you the exact timing and locations for the rain on Sunday coming up.
I'm Kirsten Clark in the WRAL Live Center with breaking news out of the war on Iran. A search effort is underway after a two-seater F-15 fighter jet went down over Iran. That's according to two U.S. officials. Take a look at that video there. That's what we suspect to be potentially those fighter jets over Iran. That's a mountainous area where they say that jet went down. And this rescue mission follows hours of reporting by Iranian state media of a downed U.S. fighter jet. We told you about that this morning here in the WRAL Live Center. I want to draw your attention to these photos here. This is what Iran's media published alongside claims from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps that it had shot down the aircraft. And they reported they shot down an F-35, but analysis showed that this looked more to be an F-15 fighter jet. The fate of those inside the jet is not clear at this time. We're still working to learn more information about that. We'll be sure to bring it to you as soon as we have it.
Oh, thank you for that, Kirsten. Right now, investigators are on the scene of a house fire in Cary. 3 people were able to escape that home on Belhaven Road after flames broke around about 2 this morning. Let's bring in WRAL's Flynn Snyder. He is there at the scene right there. Flynn, I can see right behind you there the crime scene tape that's around and just all the damage done to that house.
Yeah, Chris, crews have been on scene here for nearly 10 hours. Flames engulfed this home, leaving it gutted. No word yet on cause, but investigators have been focusing most of their efforts on the garage. Broadcastify radio traffic indicates that's where this fire may have started. The breaking news tracker here on scene this morning as crews battled the flames. We spoke with a man who lives across from the home. He told us he heard 2 explosions early this morning, saw flames coming from inside, and described the response as surreal.
It swept up. It was coming out windows in the front, windows on the side, then out of the roof. They had the hardest time. That's where the flames kept coming up. On the roof, the ladder truck was up and it was putting water down. It would stop. The flames would reignite and they went again.
So most of the concern this morning was here for those who live at this home. Cary firefighters say 3 adults were able to make it out uninjured. Neighbors are now turning their focus to help those impacted who are now displaced by these flames. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Flynn, thank you. Well, we're waiting now for Raleigh police to share new information about a crash that shut down a Raleigh intersection this morning. These are photos from that scene at Lake Wheeler Road and Tryon Road. You can see a car caught fire there and firefighters had to put it out. We're still trying to find out what caused the crash and the extent of any injuries. This crash caused delays while crews cleaned up, but the road has reopened.
A woman was arrested in connection to a deadly shooting last month at the Patio nightclub in Raleigh. This is Martha Jones. She's been charged with accessory degree to murder. She's accused of helping the shooting suspect escape. That shooting happened on March 22nd. Police say 33-year-old Jorge Durantes Carranz was killed and another person was taken to the hospital. Court documents say Jones helped the suspect leave the state, and that person is Giovanni Hernandez Jaramillo. It's still unclear, though, where he is right now.
Well, March job report shows more jobs were added to the economy than expected. It's the first economic data release since the start of the war in Iran. But researchers at the Kenan Institute in Chapel Hill say there's more to the jobs report to pay attention to. That's why we have WRAL's Elizabeth Holmes here, who listened to their briefing on the matter this morning. Elizabeth, this is surprising news for economists.
Laura, that's right. The economy added 178,000 jobs in March, and economists thought it would only add around 60,000 jobs, especially after we saw 2 straight months of job loss. They also thought the unemployment rate would stay at 4.4%. It ticked down to 4.3%. Researcher Chris Lundblad with the Kenan Institute said this is positive, but we have to think about the labor force itself. There are fewer older workers, and that means a skills mismatch with the jobs that are available. A Brookings study also suggests that there's been a net decrease in labor carried out by immigrants here in the United States, and that's hurting some industries like agriculture, hospitality, and construction. The Fed now has to determine how to balance this while also trying to tamper down on inflation and pair that with the U.S.'s war on Iran and its impact on oil prices, energy, and how different sectors are making decisions.
So the key question really is how to model this geopolitical shock that sort of simultaneously threatens markets via input cost and revenue via demand destruction, and potentially, what all that means for the household and sector as well. This is a tricky moment.
Now, Lundblad said it may be hard for the Fed to cut rates by the end of this year if this continues. The Fed is supposed to meet later this month.
A state advisory council wants North Carolina lawmakers to make cannabis legal for adults through licensed retail shops. It's just one of the recommendations being made in a new report from Governor Josh Stein's advisory council on cannabis. Leaders say legislation with strict regulation would make consumption of cannabis products safer. North Carolina is among the remaining states to resist any form of legalization for marijuana. Lawmakers have previously worked across the aisle on cannabis bills in recent years, but no laws passed. House Speaker Destin Hall and Senate Leader Phil Berger did not respond to our request for comments on this story.
Washington is now reacting to the latest shakeup in President Trump's cabinet. Longtime Trump ally Pam Bondi is out as U.S. Attorney General. The president's former personal attorney and deputy AG, Todd Blanche, is stepping into her place, at least temporarily. NBC's Alice Barr reports.
This morning, a shakeup in Justice Department leadership with Pam Bondi out as Attorney General. President Trump posting, "We love Pam, but that she would be moving to an important new job in the private sector." A loyal ally since President Trump's first term, Bondi joined him just this week for his unprecedented Supreme Court visit. But 8 sources told NBC News the president's frustrations have been growing, feeling that Bondi wasn't executing on his vision of delivering successful cases against his perceived enemies.
I'm looking at Pam because I hope something's going to be done about it. These people put our country at great danger.
As well as investigations into his debunked claims of widespread voter fraud and frustrations over Bondi's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. She initially claimed last year that the Justice Department had the late sex offender's client list.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Before reversing course with a memo saying the DOJ had found no incriminating client list, as public pressure over the highly controversial case only grew. Bondi's acting replacement, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, a former personal lawyer for President Trump, weighing in.
I have never heard President Trump say that the Attorney General that anything that happened to her had anything to do with the Epstein files.
2 sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News President Trump and Bondi had a heated confrontation at the White House last week. They did not say what it was about. Bondi now the second cabinet secretary ousted in less than a month. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And Bondi says she is thrilled to continue fighting for President Trump in her new role.
The Durham Rescue Mission's annual Easter community dinner and basket giveaway is now underway. Gates opened about an hour ago at the Durham Rescue Mission for Hope. That's on East Main Street in Durham. Meals are being served right now, and kids will also receive a free Easter basket. The Catholic Diocese of Raleigh is holding a special Good Friday Mass tonight. Bishop Luis Arama will lead that celebration of the Lord's
and co-founder of Raleigh's Angus Barn has died. The restaurant shared this photo to Facebook last night in honor of Flo Winston. Winston and her husband Charles joined Thad and Alice Ure to start Angus Barn back in 1960. Over the years, the Winstons have founded other restaurants across the state, including the Daryl's restaurant chain and several pizza inns. In 2011, they were inducted into the Raleigh Hall of Fame, recognized for their entrepreneurial success and contributions to local charities and the community. In honor of Flo, the restaurant has lowered its flag to half staff.
Police are looking for a driver they say crashed a car and then ran away. In fact, the WRAL breaking news tracker was there for the aftermath. We saw several Raleigh police officers investigating a vehicle, and this was on Ballington Circle this morning. Police say the driver crashed into a pole and then the car caught fire. They say that person then ran away, but investigators have not given any information on the person's description. Raleigh police also say they're looking for the person responsible for hitting someone with their car. That happened last night on South Saunders Street near Pecan Road. Police say someone was hit and had minor injuries, and the driver just drove away. Police say there is no vehicle description right now as this investigation is ongoing.
The Cape Hatteras National Seashore is moving forward with repairs to Buxton Beach. A special permit was issued to Dare County to fix the southernmost portion of the beach. It's near a former defense site, really close to the former spot of the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. There's been issues in the past with dangerous chemicals exposed by beach erosion. The plan is to install new steel sheet piles to help prevent the erosion.
Well, the Artemis II team is on the way to the moon after their last major engine fired last night. And today, the 4 astronauts are scheduled to conduct a CPR demonstration and a communications test. Here's John Lawrence.
My body's getting reacclimated. It's been a few years since I've been up here.
NASA is about to experience another giant leap for mankind.
We have just completed the translunar injection burn. Preliminary reports of a good burn.
In layman's terms, that means the process needed to boost the spaceship's speed fast enough to break free of the Earth's circular orbit was successful.
We all expected a really just dynamic ride, a lot of motion. We were prepared to potentially not being able to see telemetry, maybe even not being able to, touch switches, and it was very smooth.
The 4 astronauts on this 10-day mission are paving the path for future lunar surface operations as they circumnavigate the Earth's only natural satellite.
Humanity has once again shown what we are capable of, and it's your hopes for the future that carry us now on this journey around the moon.
This historic trip marks the first time humans left Earth's orbit since 1972's Apollo 17 mission.
First and foremost, I would just like to say thank you. Your support and trust in us has enabled this.
The crew is expected to return to Earth on April 10th.
Space, the final frontier. Well, this weekend, the astronauts plan to hold a review about their methods of capturing images during the lunar flyby. If you haven't seen, there's this photo on NASA's Facebook page. It shows the Earth from afar, and it looks awesome. They're going to participate, quickly putting on their spacesuits in case of an emergency. And you can follow the Artemis II mission on the WRAL YouTube channel. Just make sure you like and subscribe. So if you haven't seen this just yet, this is Rise the plushie, super cute, but beyond that cuteness, it serves as the mission's zero gravity indicator. Basically, that's important for safety, so astronauts know that it's safe to leave their seats during zero gravity. Rise was created by an 8-year-old boy in California, and coming up in the next half hour, he's going to explain the inspiration for his design. The one thing that makes me upset, Kat, is that there's only one of these. You can't just buy one directly from NASA. It's sort of specifically for this mission.
I know that was a missed opportunity by NASA's team. I mean, I would have loved to have one at home. I'm sure Jordy would have loved one too in his nursery. All right, let's take a look. 85 tomorrow. Beautiful weather. If you can move your Easter egg hunt to tomorrow, I highly recommend doing so. Sunday, we've got showers and storms in the way, 77 the high, but we may need to lower that high temperature a little bit on Sunday just because the rain is trending faster during the day. Still a small chance for rain first thing in the morning, but that chance goes up pretty fast midday into the afternoon. We go up to an 80% chance of rain, and then after dinner time, that chance will quickly fade. This is the rain that we have all been needing and begging for for weeks now. And it's coming, unfortunately, just in time for the holiday, though. Today, we do have a couple of showers, and this is just from our southeast wind. We've got moisture, enough energy in the air where we could see a couple more of these showers throughout the day. It's not a big deal, though, like Sunday's system. That's going to come with the front to our west. For the day tomorrow, there will likely be showers in the western part of North Carolina, in the mountains, the foothills. Maybe you're traveling to the Triad or Lake Norman, like I am. You may run into some showers there tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to see any here locally. Sunday's a different story. 8 a.m. still just a very small 20% chance for rain, but that chance goes up pretty fast. Even by lunchtime, 11, noon, I think we'll have some rain around. Still, the main event will get here after noon, and this will roll through during the afternoon and evening, and there could be a couple of thunderstorms, maybe even some strong damaging wind gusts in eastern North Carolina as that rolls through. Primarily east of I-95. At this point, that threat does not include the triangle. Taking a live look at the WRAL Gardens, we've got a picnic blanket out. Yesterday, we had some painters and proms going on in the gardens, or at least the prom photos beforehand. It's so much fun to go out and see all the things that are happening out there. We have everything: engagement pictures, baby pictures, maternity pictures, all of it. It's just a very happy place to be. 75 degrees, our wind out of the southwest around 10 miles per hour. If you want to come out here today, it is still nice for photographers. We've got enough cloud cover that actually really helps sometimes in making the photos better. Temperatures will reach the low 80s by the afternoon. Still, those showers are rolling through right now. None of them are imminent in the WRAL Azalea Gardens. They're kind of riding along I-95 here. You can see showers around Fayetteville up into Johnston County north of I-95 that we're watching. Otherwise, temperatures are warm again today, so enjoy the warm weather. We just have 2 days of it left. Sunday, it's still warm. It's not bad, but it is going to come with the rain and storms, so you probably can't get outside too much to enjoy it. Next week, high temperatures dip into the 60s. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we could dip into the upper 30s, so we'll keep an eye on frost potential for that. After that, I think we should be good to go with planting.
Okay, Kat, thank you. Coming up now, education earthquake. The Leandro ruling decision could have a huge impact on public schools. We talk with the man at the center of this case that's been decades in the making today at 4.
Plus, overrun with ants. A Wake County park is bringing in specialists because there are so many of these bugs. So today at 5:30, the risk that these ants pose to people. Easter air travel. Next at noon, it can be hard to navigate airports with long TSA lines, especially on a holiday weekend, which is why 5 on your side will explain what you need to know to make it to your flight on time.
And rejecting retirement, why more and more seniors are staying in or returning to the workforce. Flight disruptions are expected to surge in the coming days as holiday travel and severe weather in other parts of the country collide. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur has simple ways to navigate delays from security lines to skies.
Even with pay for TSA finally starting to arrive, officials are warning of some lingering delays. So if you're traveling this weekend or really any weekend in the future, here's what I want you to do. Download the TSA app. It's called My TSA. It's going to show you delays and wait times for any airport. Here it is for RDU. And it's going to give you a breakdown of the wait time in general and for TSA pre-check. Now let's talk about delays when it comes to flying. FlightAware's Misery Map can help you track delays across the country. And in the 24 hours before your trip, check your flight status directly on your airline's website. If you can, look at where your plane is coming from, because even if the weather is clear here, delays somewhere else could impact your flight. Remember, it's a good idea to download your airline's app. Many apps show exactly where your incoming plane is and often provide more up-to-date departure times than even the boards at the airport. Now, all of this volatility when it comes to travel may have you thinking about traveler's insurance. Here's what you should know regarding that. In most cases, a policy will not cover a missed flight if it's missed because you were waiting in the TSA line. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
So the amount of money that it would take for older Americans to feel comfortable in retirement now stands at $1.46 million. That is up $200,000 over last year's figure. The higher figure comes from worries over inflation, longer life expectancy, and fears over how stable Social Security is. 40% of Americans said they won't be prepared for retirement, and 48% said that it's likely they'll outlive their savings. And some say they have only 1 year or less of their current income set aside.
Some Americans who were unable to meet that savings goal by retirement are turning now to small gigs to help support themselves. Analysts say they've seen a surge in recent years among older adults who are unretiring from the workforce. Although some do it to keep themselves busy and active, others do it because it helps them stay afloat with their bills. Some find gig work or contract jobs through apps or digital platforms.
He likes to go up one side on the way there.
So according to AARP, inflation, cost of everyday goods, and cost of health care are the biggest reasons they are seeing people stay in the workplace or go back into the workplace.
Ongoing financial needs is what keeps you going. And I'm always looking for something that could be more of a windfall, but I haven't found it yet.
A survey by AARP conducted in January 2025 found about 1 in 5 Americans over age 50 who are not retired say they have no retirement savings.
No Dreamville this year. Yeah. This weekend would have been the one where some people came out to enjoy Raleigh's biggest music festival, but we'll talk about how the city is working to make up for missed tourism.
And here are the winning lottery numbers. Good luck.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
We begin this half hour with an update on breaking news. We first reported at the top of this hour. The U.S. has rescued one pilot after an F-15 was shot down in Iran. Let's get right over to Kirsten Clark in the WRAL Live Center. And Kirsten, you just listened to that NBC special report. What can you tell us?
That's right, Laura. At this point, we're getting updates minute by minute as it relates to that F-15 fighter jet that went down over Iran. As you mentioned, one pilot has been rescued alive. We still don't have much information right now about the condition of that pilot. We'll bring you those updates as we have them. But this means that the other crew member aboard that jet is still missing. And at this point, according what we heard during that special report, is that it's a race between the U.S. and Iran to find that other crew member. During that special report, they provided this graphic giving us more information about that jet. So this was a dual role fighter F-15 Strike Eagle. On board were 2 crew members, a pilot and then a WSO. That stands for Weapons Systems Officer. So again, that pilot was rescued, still looking for the other crew member aboard that fighter jet. We do know that it was shot down and it was suspected that they ejected from that jet. So we're still working to learn more information about the rescue efforts underway right now. We'll bring you those updates as soon as we have them.
A significant update here at this hour. Thank you so much for that, Kirsten. Today, many fans would have been preparing for the Dreamville Festival in Raleigh, but the festival ended for good last year. But there was some word about another music festival coming to Dix Park. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar tells us what the city says about the plans for another festival.
Yeah, there would typically be a large setup underway here at Dix Park for Dreamville. Well, there's no definitive word on a festival coming to the park this April, but the city does tell me it is working with Dreamville organizers. Take a look at this video of Dreamville last year. The music festival traditionally happened the first weekend of April in Dix Park. Organizers announced about a year ago that a new music festival would be taking over. Since then, there's been little information shared on what that new festival would be. WRAL Investigates obtained documents of the city's agreement with festival organizers last month. They say the organizers could hold festivals at Dix Park through 2029, but they are not obligated to do so. The city of Raleigh told us back in March it was discussing other possible dates with the organizers since the traditional weekend of Dreamville fell on Easter this year. We reached out again yesterday and it said the city is working with Dreamville organizers for another possible date.
We have reached out to organizers. We have not heard back, but we are still asking these questions. What would that new festival be? What would it feature, and what would it be called? We are staying on top of this. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
So tonight, the Durham Bulls take on the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs for Game 4 of their 6-game stand. Tickets are still available on the Bulls website if you want to go. Tonight, fans can also enjoy Copa de la Diversión. It's a season-long event series designed to embrace the cultures and the values of local Hispanic communities supporting minor league teams.
It was a great game for the Carolina Hurricanes last night. They defeated the Columbus Blue Jackets 5-1 during the Hockey for the Holidays game, which aired live on WRAL. This win made the Canes the first Eastern Conference team to make the playoffs. Logan Stankoven got his 17th goal of the year last night. He's looking forward to the team's next run for the Stanley Cup.
It's unbelievable. I think our group in there, we don't take the playoffs for granted. It's so hard to battle and to get into the playoffs. So we're really grateful, but the work doesn't stop now. So we're excited to finish the rest of the season and get in the playoffs.
So the Canes will have today to celebrate, then it's back on the ice when they host the Islanders. You can watch that game tomorrow here on WRAL. Hockey for the Holidays continues as the team gears up for the playoffs.
AI is quickly transforming the music industry, and this is raising questions about creativity and control. A new lab at Berklee College of Music in Boston is helping students navigate both. Brianna Borghi explains how Berklee is making sure the next generation of artists is leading the way.
At Berklee College of Music, these aren't the only keys shaping the future of sound.
Berklee is where the next generation of musicians is coming from.
Students here are learning how to adapt to a rapidly changing industry using AI tools to compose, produce, and collaborate. At the center of that is the school's new innovation hub, the Berklee Emerging Artistic Technology Lab, better known as Beetle. Mark Ethier is the executive director.
Beetle is a place that has a focus on making sure that our students are ready for the careers of tomorrow and what's going to be happening as technologies like AI change the way that music is made and the way that careers happen in music.
For students like Sean Zielinski, it's an opportunity to stay ahead of the curve.
It's more of like a experimenting thing, or if I'm sort of like struggling with inspiration, maybe I'll use it to sort of generate an idea.
With a few simple prompts.
You know, in this case, I want like a hyperpop rap, digicore, you know, rage, whatever, all of this stuff.
He can generate a song.
And I think for me, a lot of these AI tools, they're not a replacement for anything. It's just sort of a way that it changes my workflow and inspires me to make different decisions.
Zielinski is currently taking an AI in music production course taught by Professor Jonathan Weiner, who likes to kick off the semester with a conversation about values and ethics.
Traditionally, when you've sat down to play an instrument, you haven't had to interrogate it and say, so what are you going to do with this note I'm about to play? And so that's where we start.
He says understanding the implications of using AI is just as important as mastering the technology itself.
When something new comes into our world as a creative person, if you can sort of be ahead of the curve and figure it out, there's always some interesting opportunities that accrue.
In June, Berklee will host its first AI Music Summit to discuss concerns. Well, next at 12:30, World Cup app. Students at one high school are leading the way in innovation. How they plan to help hospitality workers during the World Cup.
And plushie on board. A second grader's design now shoots for the moon. We'll show you this tiny space lover's role in the Artemis 2 mission. And for news, traffic, and the weather of the day, make sure you download the WRAL News app. You can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
We'll get you a live look outside right now at Lake Gaston. Not gonna lie, kind of wish I could just hop on a boat and just enjoy a nice little breeze that we're seeing right now. It's a beautiful afternoon as you're watching WRAL News, available on the Spectrum and on Spectrum app and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device.
Okay, so high school students in Missouri are now creating an app just in time for the World Cup. Jacob Kaufman explains what the app hopes to accomplish.
Students at Summit Technology Academy are creating an app to help the hospitality industry deepen their cultural understanding so that they're able to treat their guests and provide them a better experience when they come in for the World Cup. Emma Mozakowski is the project manager for the app, and she says working on it has helped her grow in more ways than she can imagine.
Been able to work with my project management professional to learn so many new things that she has helped me become a project manager. And as much as I can as a high schooler, I've learned real world experience.
For Greg Bustamante, he says his favorite part in all of this is seeing his students be excited to come to school and learn.
Seeing them actually take and make initiatives outside of the classroom. And so that's where I feel like we're actually hitting on something that's really valuable. And that's fulfilling for us as teachers. We just want them to basically get excited and to actually learn.
And that was Jason Kaufman reporting. The app is expected to be done by the end of the month and will be available on the App Store and Google Play Store. And don't forget, WRAL is your station for World Cup action starting June 11th.
Mission mascot. The creator of a cute zero-gravity toy is brimming with delight. We'll introduce you to the 8-year-old behind Rise and what each item symbolizes. Plus, a head above the rest, the golden dome of an iconic Star Wars figure here. It nets big bucks at auction. The whopping figure that the item commanded.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, Fort Bragg's 82nd Airborne Division. Their All-American Week this year has been canceled. The division took to social media, making this post on Facebook, sharing that news, saying that the event will be resumed next year, but is canceled this year. It doesn't give any information as to why, but this does come after last month reports confirmed that part of the division is set to deploy to the Middle East soon. We'll be sure to bring you more information as we learn it as to why this event was canceled this year.
Kirsten, thank you. Well, by now you may have seen or heard of the adorable little stowaway taking part in Artemis II moon mission. Rise isn't just a cutie plushie. It plays an important role for the crew. Suj Nam introduces us to the second grader behind the mission mascot.
This is the Apollo on the right side, and it's the past moon mission, and this is the Space Launch System.
It's an adorable plushie of a moon with an Earth cap.
I especially did the designs and the ideas.
8-year-old Lucas Ye of Mountain View is the brains behind the masterpiece that won NASA's mascot competition for Artemis II.
This is the footprint made by Neil Armstrong on 1969 when he rode on Apollo 11.
He was inspired by this iconic capture of Earth from Apollo 8.
The Earth on top of the plushie's head was representing Earthrise.
Lucas's parents say his passion for space started when he was 3.5 years old.
He sometimes talks like that he's, rocket scientist.
Basically, the third stage propels it to low Earth orbit. Right time, it basically uses Earth as a gravitational slingshot.
Lucas's mother, Clara Zhao, says when he's not drawing rockets and galaxies, he spends his free time reading.
He likes to read, that he enjoys sometimes that, his quiet time just...
So it takes approximately 8-10 minutes for a spacecraft to get to low Earth orbit.
When he opens up, he's like that.
Lucas is excited that a version of his plushie will be orbiting the moon on Artemis II.
Letting the crew know when they have reached microgravity.
Laura Bleacher, with NASA's Exploration Systems Development Mission Directorate, says the crew was moved by Lucas's creativity.
View that the Artemis II crew has indicated they're really excited to be able to see for themselves with their own eyes, representing, what they see as their role in representing all of humanity and, helping to kind of bring humanity along for the ride and having this, iconic experience now, right, for this new Artemis generation of explorers.
Just wow. Lucas is certainly going places and maybe even one day to the moon. Ye and his family went to Florida to watch the launch, and he says he wants to work at NASA or be in astrophysics physicist when he grows up. I know that his dreams will certainly come true if he keeps at it. So turning now to meteorologist Kat Campbell here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. What a cute story, Kat.
Oh, I love it. And I mean, I want one of those plushies at home. But what a cool story he's going to have to tell one day. And I hope that it comes full circle and he's on the spaceship one day.
Yes, certainly.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look outside. Beautiful today, but there are some showers. You can see them kind of in the distance if you look from the WRAL Garner Tower camera shot. We've got some rain right along I-95 right now. This is tracking from the southwest to the northeast. North Raleigh seeing a brief shower. It's not very heavy, and it's just a small window of time, but just a heads up in North Raleigh. And one other small shower closer to the Garner side of Apex. Temperatures are sitting in the mid-70s in the Triangle right now, 67 in Fayetteville, where they had some showers, 73 in Roxborough, and 77 in Rocky Mount. Today, it's just spotty showers, kind of a warm-up ahead of Sunday's rain, an 80% chance of rain on Sunday. That chance drops off big time by Sunday night, but the showers are likely to impact your Easter Sunday plans. If you're traveling to the beach for Easter weekend, temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s tomorrow. Even the Outer Banks are going to be in the mid-70s. What a gorgeous day we have in the forecast. Still dry, mostly sunny to partly cloudy, and then even the coast will see rain and storms on Sunday. The storm chances and rain chances are 40 to 60%, but that's during the day. Those numbers become much higher as we head into the evening and Sunday night. And I do want to stress, Sunday is going to be a busy travel day, so will Monday, but this cold front could have a big impact on travel across the southeast on Sunday as this front moves through pretty much the entire East Coast, but especially across the southeast where more thunderstorms are going to be involved. That could slow down some air travel, also car travel as well. Wherever you are traveling for the holiday weekend, make sure you bring your WRAL weather app with you. Your app will work outside of our local area. Even the radar will be a useful tool as we head into the weekend. I think radar is always a much better tool than hour-by-hour rain chances, so try to utilize it if you're able to. Looking ahead, spring warmth is with us this weekend, but boom, we see another big temperature drop early next week. It's not going to be all that bad in the afternoon. It's still going to be pretty nice. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's the low temperatures that are going to matter next week. We dip down into the 30s as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. 38 degrees, you see it there. That could lead to some frost, patchy frost possible. So that's one of the big stories we're going to be keeping an eye on for next week. In the meantime, all eyes are on Sunday's rain chances. You can move your plans to Saturday. Again, I highly recommend doing so. We'll have more weather and your top stories coming up after the break.
As we wrap things up here, we have a look at a few of the headlines we're following today. New this noon now, a Wake County Schools employee is accused of assaulting a student with special needs. Jill Crockett turned herself in yesterday. The alleged incident happened in March at Carnage Middle School. Investigators say Crockett was working as a special programs instructional assistant at the time. She no longer works for the district, and records show she resigned on Wednesday.
Right now, investigators are still on the scene of a house fire in Cary. 3 people were able to escape that home on Belhaven Road after flames broke out around 2 this morning. Crews have been there for about nearly 10 hours now, and the fire fully engulfed this house, leaving it gutted. It's not clear just yet what started the fire, but investigators have been focusing most of their attention on the garage.
A state advisory council wants North Carolina lawmakers to make cannabis legal for adults through licensed retail shops. It's just one of the recommendations being made in a new report for Governor Josh Stein's advisory council on cannabis. Leaders say legalization with strict regulation would make consumption of cannabis products safer. North Carolina is among the remaining states to resist any form of legalization for marijuana.
One of the most famous androids to appear on the big screen is seeing some big bucks at a recent auction. Jeremy Roth shares that whopping sum that one Star Wars fan was willing to pay for a portion of C-3PO.
the holy grail of sci-fi collectibles. That's what one Star Wars fan paid over $1 million for when this original light-up C-3PO head from The Empire Strikes Back came to auction. According to Prop Store Auction House, the head is an original used in the iconic 1980 film, featuring light-up eyes and original wiring, and is believed to be the only one of its type on the collector's market. A bidder busted auction expectations of between $350 and $700 grand, shelling out over $1 million for the decapitated droid's dome. Hey, in the collectibles game, it's not who you know, it's what you own. So sometimes to get ahead, it pays to get ahead.
Well, that was Jeremy Roth reporting. It's not the first time, though, that an item from Star Wars has sold for 7 figures. Darth Vader's lightsaber sold for $3.6 million last fall.
Okay, if you're a Pokemon fan or just like Goebbels, you'll love our pets of the day. And Chris might have to help me with this one.
I got you. Let's walk through here. So you have Vaporeon.
Okay.
You have Sylveon.
All right.
They're 8-month-old male gerbils. They're curious, they're playful, they love strawberries, and they dig the most crazy elaborate tunnels in their enclosure, and then they glare at you when you attempt to clean those tunnels. The adoption fee is $25, and you can contact the SPCA of Wake County if you're interested in Vaporeon and Sylveon.
Yeah, I know you're a Pokemon guy.
Well, these are the evolutionary forms of Eevee.
Okay.
There are different evolutionary trees you can go with them on here. One is a water type, the other is a fairy type, and yeah, that's what you got in Pokemon.
They're adorable. All right, food expiration dates. Do they actually matter? Today on WRAL News at 4, what dietitians say when it comes to following the dates on your items.
And just so you know, NBC Daily is next on WRAL with your next local news update in about 30 minutes' time.
You can get breaking news updates anytime with our